Hello everyone. So in this video lesson, I'm going to discuss all about the laws on radicals. So kaning first part sa atong video lesson, so I will focus only on numbers. Then on the second part, laws on radicals na sad pero focus on variables na with exponents. Then on the third part, kaya ato nang i-fuse or i-combine ang numbers o variables. Okay? So ang unang part, so I'm going to discuss the four laws on radicals pero mag-focus at on using numbers. No, magamit sa akong mga numbers as our examples and or reference. Okay? So ang unang law sa radicals is in the form of the nth root of a to the power of n. So how are we going to simplify this? So as you can see right now, the n, which is the exponent of the radicand, and the n nga index, so parehas. So all you have to do is to cancel out these two, then wala na yung radical sign, so the answer is A. So again, this is the first law on radicals. Okay? So by the way, kanang numbers or variables or elements ka nasa sud sa radical sign mo nang gitawag natong radicand. Okay? R-A-D-I-C-A-N-D. So again, mo nang gitawag natong radicand. So let's take for example. Let's have the square root of a squared. So as you can see, ang exponent sa atong radicand is 2. Since this is square root, it means that the index is 2. So the only number nga dili siya ma-implied, no, pag na ang radical sign is 2. So matik na ang basa na to na is square root. So the square root of a squared, so ato ra nang i-cancel out ang duha, wala na ng radical sign, so that is a. Let's have the fifth root of sige, arita sa numbers, no, as I have promised. So focus ata sa numbers. What if mo ni siya ang kuan? Example, the fifth root of 25 to the power of 5. So parehas ang exponent sa radicand ug kaning index, so cancel out ta, so that is equals 25. Then last example, let's say the cube root of sige atong i-erase. Let's say the cube root of 9 cube. So pareha sila, cancelled out, wala na ng radical sign, so the answer is 9. Okay? So that is very easy, no? Sayan na dyan kayo ang first law on radicals. So how about this one? So hari na ta sa second law on radicals, or the second, hari na ta sa second law on radicals. Okay? So it is in the form of the nth root of the square root of AB, so that is equals the nth root of A times the nth root of B. So kani siyang second law on radicals, it is applied when a certain number is not a perfect number. Muna kung gitawag ka perfect number. So mayroon kang perfect number, like for example, ito nang specify into 3 examples, kanang tulo ka parte, kuan kanang perfect square root, perfect cube root, perfect fourth root. So mayroon kang perfect square root, so mao na mga numbers na inikuha nimo sa square root, directly na siya value without let's say sa in layman's term walay kida. Well, same goes with the perfect cube root, perfect fourth root, or perfect fifth root, or perfect nth root, no? So, mayroon ka for example, arita sa perfect square root. So, ang perfect square root, for example, square root of 4. So, square root of 4 is 2, diba? Arita sa cube root, let's say the cube root of 27 is equals 3. Okay, ganun square root of 4 is 2. So if you're going to reverse that one, ang 2 then squared is equals 4. May kag 2 squared, so i-multiply nimo kaduha ang 2, no? So that is 4. Then the cube root of 27 is 3. So why? Because if you're going to reverse that one, 3 squared is 27, or 3 not 3 squared, sorry, 3 cube equals 27. Or i-multiply mo katulo ang 3, 27, no? So mo na makaingon ta nga perfect square root ni siya, perfect cube root. Okay, so kaning second law on radicals ma-apply na siya kung ang imong number dili siya perfect square, perfect cube, perfect fourth root. Okay, then kanang AB, so mo na siya ang duha ka factor. So let's say usa ka number na dira, then you're going to split into two numbers which are called factors. So i-factor nimo ng usa ka number in which ang usa ka number is a perfect number. Let's say kung square root na siya, i-factor nimo ang kanang number given, then ang usa ka number is a perfect square root. Okay, so let's take for example, let's start with the square root usa. Let's say the square root of 200. So we know that the square root of 200 is not a perfect square root, but we can use the nth root of AB equals the nth root of A times the nth root of B to simplify. Okay, so ang purpose man anang laws on radicals is to simplify everything, no? Or to simplify if possible. So it is very well understood that your index is 2, diba? So if you're going to factor this one, 200, so ang factor ana niya is the square root of 100 times 2. Pwede po 20 o 10, pero just what I said earlier, mas maayo nga mag-factor ka in which one number is a perfect number. Arita focus sa square root. So mag-factor ka aning 200 in which ang usa ka factor is a perfect square root. So ang perfect square root is 100. And very obvious, you cannot extract the square root of 2. So what happened is ang kanang nth root of A, that serves as your 100. And the nth root of B serves as your 2. Or ato nang kompletuhon, the nth root of A is the square root of 100. The nth root of B is the square root of 2. So mo ni siya. Ato na siyang split. We're going to change that one into this one. So that is the square root of 100 then times the square root of 2. After that, you're going to evaluate the square root of 100. So what is the square root of 100? That is 10. Then times the square root of 2. So all you have to do, if you're going to multiply a whole number or integer and a radical value or a radical number or a radical expression, no, in which ang number na sa sud sa radical sign, such as like this one, square root of 2. So imong buhaton is itapada nimo. So 10 times the square root of 2, that is 10 the square root of 2. So dapat ang final answer wala na kay index nga 2. Kay understood naman na nga kanang radical sign nga walay index, walay number nga naka-indicate tapad sa radical side is 2. And it means that is square root. Okay, so therefore your answer is 10 the square root of 2. So square root of 200, the answer is 10 the square root of 2. Okay, okay, so let's have another example. Let's say the cube root of 81. So we know that 81 is not a perfect cube root. So all you have to do is we're going to apply this one, the nth root of AB equals the nth root of A times the nth root of B. So atong buhaton, first step is atong i-factor ang 81, in which ang usa ka number is mahimo siyang perfect cube root. So like we did on the first example, so parehason na to ang kaning second example. So let's have the cube root of 27 of 3. So 27 times 3 is 81, and 27 is a perfect cube root. Okay, so the cube root of 27, so that is 3, diba? But at dili na to siya i-shortcut para mas masabtan ninyo, ato na siyang i-form into the nth root of A times the nth root of B. So it becomes the cube root of 27 times the cube root of 3. So the cube root of 27 is 3. Pagkauman times the cube root of 3, lang, pasensya sa cube root. Cube root of 3. So parehara pa diri sa first example, itapad ra ng 3 o cube root of 3. So the answer is 3 the cube root of 3. Okay, so inana ra ka sa yun. Pero what if og naglibog ka sa inaning paagi sa pag-factor? So natay laing method or laing option on how to make solving like this one easier for you. Let's have another example. So what if kung inani ang example nato, no? So what if kung inani let's say the fourth root of 1792. So medyo lisod-lisod na, no, kay fourth root na. So ang imong index is 4, so that reads as the fourth root of 1792. So medyo lisod-lisod na siya, but don't you worry, naa siya pinakasayon nga way on how to solve for that one. Okay, so the fourth root of 1792 is somehow we're going to use kani first method na akong i-propose na gamit ninyo. So kaning method nga akong ipagamit ninyo or pwede ninyong gamiton is what we call the continuous division. Okay, so sa continuous division, imo nang i-divide ang 1792 into its prime divisors until such time nga magkagamay ang 1792 nga mahimo na pud siyang prime numbers. Okay, kaya baka naman ng prime numbers like 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, no? Sige, let's apply the continuous division method. So I will write 1792 here. So ang 1792, so ana na siyang forma sa continuous. So of course, ma-divide siya sa 2, diba? So 1792 divided by 2. Sige, let's try. So pwede man nato magamit ang calculator, no? So I will let you use the calculator para mas dali. So 1792, so i-divide siya sa 2. So that is 896. So 896. But pati ang 9 akong papawanan duha. Ang 9 ug 6 ako nang delete. Okay, 896. Then ang 896 na sad, so ato na siyang i-divide sa 2. So 896 ato na po nang i-divide sa 2. So the answer is 448. So 4 4 8. Then ang 448 na sad ato na po nang i-divide sa 2. Another 1 by 2. So make sure na ang number nga or ang divisor nimo must be a prime number or the smallest prime number. Okay? So 448 divided by 2, that is 224. So 2 2 4. So kanina po klaro na sa kayo nga i-divide siya sa 2. So mas maayo ug na amoy basic foundation or basic knowledge about divisibility rules, no? When can you say that a number ma-divide siya sa 2? Kani nga number ma-divide siya sa 3. Okay? Singit ra ko na. Sige, let's continue. So that is 112. No? So 112, so kana na pud ma-divide siya sa 2. Oh, another 1 by 2 na pud. So let's have ato na siyang i-delete. So sa ato exam ha, pwede ka magamit og calculator for as long as you know on how to use the calculator. So 112, so i-divide siya sa 2. Ayan lang. So divided by 2, so that is 56. Then 56 ma-divide siya sa 2. Another 1 ma-divide na siya sa 2. So that is 28. Pagkauman ang 28 i-divide na sa 2. So that is 14. Taas ano? Then ang 14 i-divide na po siya sa 2. So that is 7. Diba? So gikan sa 1792, so nahimo siyang 7 sa bottom. So that is how continuous division works. So ato na siyang idaplin, ipadaplin para taas tag space. So idaplin na to siya, guys. Okay. So pila ka book 2 ang nana to ron? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay. So if you're going to factor 1792, so by its prime factors, mao ni siya. That is 2 to the power of. So mag-ihap ka pila ka book 2. Kung pila ka book ang 2, mao nang imuhang exponent. Okay? So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So that is 2 to the power of 8. Ito lang, mati atong 8. So 2 to the power of 8, then times, don't forget the 7 nga nasa ubos. So mao na siya ang factor niya. 2 to the power of 8 times 7. Okay? So 2 to the power of 8 times 7. So we can say, or we can now conclude, the first phase of our solution, that is the fourth root of 2 to the power of 8 times 7. Na naka-idea dayon na ang imong 2 to the power of 8 can be extracted, no? The fourth root of 2 to the power of 8 can be extracted, and the fourth root of 7 remains the fourth root of 7. Diba? So, ano siya i-delete? Okay. So we can now separate these the two terms. So this is the fourth root of 2 to the power of 8 times the fourth root of 2, not 2, fourth root of 7. So how are we going to extract 2 to the power of 8? So sayon na kani siya, guys. Kung ma-divide gani ang exponent sa radicals and the index, it means it can be extracted directly. So 8 divided by 4, that is 2. So all you have to do is to copy the radicand na 2, i-copy ni siya, i-copy na siya, then i-divide ni mo 8 divided by 4, that is 2. So that is 2 squared. Then times the fourth root of 7. Ang fourth root of 7, dili na mo siya ma-extract. Okay? So that is equals. So 2 squared is 4. Don't forget to evaluate this 1, ang 2 squared. So 2 squared is 4 because 2 times 2 is 4. So 4, then itapad na lang nato ang fourth root of 7. So therefore 4 the fourth root of 7. So from the fourth root of 1792, the answer is 4 the fourth root of 7. The answer is 4 the fourth root of 7. Okay? Okay, so let's tackle the third law on radicals. So muna siya ang third law. So ang third law niya ay muna siya the nth root of A over B. So fractional form or rational form, and it assumes nga ang A ma-divide siya sa B, or kung dili, fraction form. So that is equals the nth root of A all over the nth root of B. So somehow parehas siya sa second law, di ba? But nakaparehas lang niya kay gi-separate ang A ug B, no? Gi-separate ang A ug B, nanay nth root. Ang numerator na napoy nth root ang denominator, no? So for example, let's have a square root ta. Let's say the square root of ato sa isipog ni. Let's say for example the square root of 100 all over 25. So pwede na to siya i-apply, no? Ato na siyang pormahon og pinani. Okay? So may mo siyang the square root of 100 all over the square root of 25. So the square root of 100 all over the square root of 25. So square root of 100 is 10. Then the square root of 25 is 5. And since ma-divide siya, so that is equals 2. So your final answer is 2. Okay? So another one. So medyo sayo na ng third law. Arita sa cube root. Let's say the cube root of 8, then over, let's say 64. So pwede na siya, ito na siya pormahon to nth root of A over the nth root of B. So that is the cube root of 8 all over the cube root of 64. After that, so that is the cube root of 8 is 2. And the cube root of 64 is 4. Okay? So 2 over 4. So masimplify pa man gyud na siya. So that is equivalent to 1/2. So inanara ka sayod ang third law. But naata ko ihatag nga example medyo komplikado. So it is on the third law pero mix na siya sa second law. And ma-apply na sa itong gitawag na to nga rationalization. But I will discuss later on in a separate video na lang. So as of now mo lang sana kung ihatag nga example para di mo maglipok. Okay? Okay, so let's go now to the last law on radicals. So it is in the form of the mth root of the nth root. The mth root of the nth root of a. So sa sud sa radical sign, another radical sign na sad with the radicand. So we have two indexes, the m and the n. So sa sud pa jud sa mth root, nanapoy nth root. So then sa sud sa nth root ang a. Or shall we say, ang sud sa mth root is the nth root of a. So ang imong buhaton to make it simplified, i-multiply ang m ug n, no? So m, then n with the radical sign, then a. So ina na siya ka simple. So m nth root of a. So let's take for example cube root of the square root of 8. Cube root of the square root of 8. So, di ba? Ingon ko basta square root wala na siya. So, it can be also like this one. The cube root of the square root of 8. So, we know that the square root na siya index nga 2. So, all you have to do is to multiply the indexes, the 3 and 2. So 3 times 2 is 6, diba? So it becomes the 6th root of 8. So muna na siya, the 6th root of 8. So matag pa kog laing example in which we're going to simplify. Okay, let's take for example, or let's have another example. So let's have square root of the square root of 625. So the square root of the square root of 625. So we know naka na siya 2 ng index, another 2. So we multiply ang duha, so that is equals 4th root of 625. So ma-extract pa gud na ang 625. So that is equals 5. Because if you're going to reverse that one, so that is 5 to the power of 4, i-multiply ang 5 4 times, or i-multiply ang 5 siyang kagalingon 4 times, so that is 625. Okay? So therefore, your answer is 5. So that's all for the part 1 of our video discussion about the laws on radicals. Okay, so I hope na mo nasabtan. So thank you and goodbye.